Alright, continuing our journey with the Fall of Cybertron Combaticons, we have the other problem child, at least for me. Swindle! I love this mold, I really do, especially this vehicle mode. Oh, this vehicle mode looks good. However, this is my third version of the figure. All three, or the two others, their hips broke. The exact same hip, too. It's like the ball joint just tightened it for no apparent reason. Like, literally one day the ball joint was, it was fine. It was actually kind of loose one day. And then all of a sudden the ball joint is so tight that it literally snaps it. Another reason why I'm recording this now, before, either of the problem children can break. Anyway, so here is Swindle. He's very nice car. Removing his weapon really quick. Yeah. He looks the most like an Earth vehicle out of anyone else. That's not saying much, because this still doesn't look very earthly. It looks Cybertronian, which is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Got some nice purple detailing up here. Got a nice metallic purple right here with the Decepticon emblem. You got the back of his head. You got the things. You got, I assume it's an engine block. You got pipes, exhaust pipes so it can, You also got, like, a grill guard right here, some spikes. And, you can store his weapon right here. I usually have it rotated like this to make it look more like an engine block. Because, why not? The tires have some nice detailing. There's supposed to be a lot more purple, but this was a long time ago, so, like this ring right here is supposed to be purple. All of these indented sections are supposed to be purple. There's supposed to be a fuck ton of purple on this guy. I imagine these are supposed to be silver, but, what can you do? Yeah, he can roll. He rolls very nicely. The front wheels are pinned on, the others are clipped on. Yeah. For comparison, here he is with Gamer Edition Optimus Prime, who is shorter than, but actually about the same size if you have the gun on top. And from their highest points, Prime is just slightly taller. So he's a decent size. I'm not going to show Megatron or the original Prime in vehicle mode because they're still in robot mode for the next comparison. Here he is with Starscream, which if you know G1 lore, you know why I'm mostly showing him with Starscream. But yeah. And here he is with Brawl. I don't think this was their scale in the game. I think Brawl was a little bit bigger. But, Swindle and Brawl have never been in scale because Swindle is a Jeep, Brawl is a tank. So Swindle obviously needed to be a lot bigger, but, hey, they don't look bad. So, let's get into transformation. We are going to go into leg mode first. Then we're going to go into arm mode, or at least what I think his arm mode is supposed to be. Because they never included instructions for the alternate limbs. They're just instructions for the main limbs. But yeah, so for transformation, you want to bring his feet up. That'll make the combined mode feet. Go ahead and untab the hood section, which the hood has a thing of breaking the tabs right here. So just be aware of that. Go ahead and bring out the combined port. You want to tab the hood in using the bottom clips. That, I think, is where how a lot of people break it, because they want to use the top clips. And then you can do whatever you want with these. I just bring them down. And there you have him in foot mode. Which, yeah, this is decently accurate to what we saw in the game. The actual toes are different, but, you know, I can't really complain too much. Yeah. Onto arm mode. Arm mode, there's not a lot, you know. You can come in here, bring the hand down. He does have 2 hands, so he can be either a right or a left. I don't know. I'm not really ever going to use him as an arm. You're going to want to untab the hood, bring the combined section forward like this. Untab the arms and straighten the legs. And, I guess just try and, like, maybe have the fists grab onto these sections, maybe? I don't know. I'm completely guessing here. I think that's supposed to be his arm. If you want it to be slightly more proportional, you can shorten it, but, like, that looks a little weird. Or you can just, you know, again, if you want to shorten it, but want it to look a little bit better, just plug his arms back in to where they were in vehicle mode, and I guess plug the back in as well. I guess, because, you know, it still works because of the way it's designed, so you still have a knee in combined mode. You know, it's still... Anyway, on to robot mode. Flip up the hand, flip out the feet, untab this hood, bring the combined section back, bring out his arms. They will slide themselves forward, or at least they're supposed to, when you bring them forward like that. Straighten his legs, untab them. You're going to want to rotate this section all the way around. You're going to want to flip these sections back. Flip these back. Take these, I guess, mud flap sections and bring them forward. Right here. Come back here. Push his head up. Bring it down. These tabs right here will go into these slots right here. And here you have Fall of Cybertron Swindle, who looks really cool and pretty damn accurate, all things considered, until you... You know, we got a good view of Swindle's back in his missions. You know, his mission and a half. I don't recall his back looking anything like this. But, you know, anyway. I always, you know, make sure his head is as against the combined port as possible. And then bend his legs a little bit back. But, you know. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty good, honestly. Not too many new details other than just the mud flap sections, which have that nice purple in them. The arms, which have some nice detail in them. And the head, which I forgot to show off on Brawl. His head looks pretty good. Well, it resembles what we saw in the game, so... And he can hold his gun, as he should be able to. Unlike Brawl, where you can just plug it back on to where it's supposed to be in vehicle mode, you can't really store Swindle's gun, because there's no 5mm pegs or ports, and you can try to shove it on back behind his head, but that looks a little weird. Suppose if you got really desperate to store his weapon, you could just, like, slide it in here and just use the hand to... Never mind. No, you really can't store his gun. But, you know, I don't really think you need to store his gun. But, yeah, so that is Swindle. But, yeah, so, articulation, the head is on a mushroom peg. You can only, you know, swivel it. If you use the transformation joint a little bit, you can look up a little bit. Well, if you use this as up, then he can look down, but if you do it like this, then he can look up. The shoulders are on a ball joint. They can do a full 360. They can go out about that far because chest detailing. The struts do have a little bit of wiggle, but they're not going to hold a pose, so. Just like with Brawl, the elbows are on ball joints. You can about 90 degrees bend that way. About 90 degrees bend that way. You do have waist swivel. You do have for about that much forward at the hip, about that much backwards. He can go outward about that far. And this is the hip that keeps breaking on me, so, you know, I can feel it starting to get stiff. So I might see if I can lube it up. Anyway, you can thigh rotation, slightly over 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and the toes can move downwards. So for comparison, here we have him with Megatron. Here he is with the original War for Cybertron Optimus Prime mold. And yeah, he is pretty big, but you know. And of course, here he is with his Combaticon cohort, Brawl. Stand up straight, Brawl. And yeah, I don't think this was the scale we saw in the game. Pretty sure Brawl was still a lot bigger and taller than Swindle, but you know, the scale has never been consistent in Transformers, so yeah. So that has been my review of the Fall of Cybertron Combaticon Swindle. I know Swindle is a lot of people's favorite Combaticon, mostly because of, like, animated. And, well, animated definitely didn't hurt his breakout in popularity. You know, Swindle was, I believe, the one who had the most personality in G1. You know, being the con man who literally sold his team for scrap one time. Then had a bomb planted in his head. You know, forcing him to go find all of their pieces. Sorry, I'm transforming Brawl. Otherwise it would explode. But, so, yeah, I see why he's a lot of people's favorite. He's just not my favorite. Don't get me wrong, I like him. He is definitely a good figure, but he's just not my favorite Combaticon overall. That one will be coming up in the next video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Let me know what figures you want me to review. If I have them, I'll review them. If not, I'll see if I can track them down. Anyway guys, hope you liked it, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.